Example 5.14. Nitrogen is a gas at room temperature and room pressure, sort of, what we experience just in our everyday lives. It's also a molecular substance. It's a molecule made up of two nitrogen atoms. So we need to figure out how many valence electrons are in a nitrogen atom so that we can draw a proper Lewis electron dot diagram for this molecule. So looking at a periodic table, we see that nitrogen is in group 5A. That means nitrogen has 5 valence electrons. If you look at the simplified periodic table that I prepared, you see that nitrogen is in the 5th column over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, group 5A. It's got 5 valence electrons. This allows us to calculate the total number of valence electrons in the nitrogen molecule. 2 times 5 is 10. So there are 10 valence electrons in the nitrogen molecule. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to that means I've got a nitrogen and a nitrogen, and I'm going to join these nitrogens with a single bond representing the sharing of a pair of electrons. So now I'm going to put the dots I normally do on the lines to indicate electrons. Is a chemical covalent bond is sharing a pair of electrons. And now I have to make each nitrogen happy. Well, this nitrogen sees 2 electrons. It wants 8, so it needs 6 more. 1, 2, 5, 6. The other nitrogen's the same deal. Wants 6 more electrons, so it has 8 around it. Now, we have to count up how many dots we put down now. How many electron dots do we have in our Lewis electron dot diagram? And we actually have 14. That's 4 too many. We're only allowed 10 electrons. So this cannot be a correct structure. It's a trial structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to add a bond. So I have a double bond between the nitrogen atoms. And now I'm going to put the dots on the lines I've drawn connecting the nitrogen atoms. It's a double bond. There are 2 bonds. Every chemical covalent bond is 2 electrons. So I put the dots on those bonds. And now this nitrogen, the one on the right, sees 4 electrons, wants 8, so it needs 4 more. The nitrogen on the left sees 4, wants 8, needs 4 more. Well, how many dots do I have down here now? Well, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 dots. And again, I can only have 10 because that's the total number of valence electrons that are available for working out bonding and sharing in this molecule. So I'm going to say that this is also a trial structure. And I'm going to have another bond, a triple bond. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 bonds. I'm going to put the dots on the lines. And now each nitrogen wants to have 8 electrons around it. The nitrogen on the right that I'm circling here sees 6 electrons. It wants 8, so it needs 2 more. It's the same deal for the nitrogen on the left. It wants to have 8 electrons around it as well. We have distributed a total of 10 valence electrons at this point, and we had 10 electrons to distribute it. So this is a happy Lewis electron dot diagram.